thought, I'm going to go live. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I don't usually go live, so I'm quite happy to try it and to see how this happens, how this goes. I do go live sometimes on my membership channel, but this is my first time doing it here. So publicly, I've done it on my my All Signs channel, but not here on Lotus Heart Tarot that I'm aware of. I just was trying to get it up on my computer. Real quick so that I can see the chat. Okay, interesting. I don't know how to make the... Hey! Alright, guys, I'm just gonna try this real fast. Okay, we're gonna try that. Interesting. I hate to have I hate to have the screen be vertical, but I don't know why. Like, it seems that I have to. All right, so let's dive in, shall we? I do like to begin my readings by thanking those of you who regularly show up, who like, who subscribe, who share. And who comment. Hi, everyone. Hey, guys. It's so nice to see you here. Some of you I recognize from my membership channel, Leela. But it's so nice to have you here. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I am very happy to have you. So we are going to dive in. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It is also, you know, for the cross watchers if they're interested in knowing what's going on with Pisces. And gosh, guys, we're just going to dive right in, see what's going on. I just grabbed some cards and here we go. Let's see. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what is happening for Pisces? Keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest, right? Wow, it's kind of an intense energy to start off with. You know, when we go within, right, that is where we find our oneness, our connection with everything that is, or at least that's my experience. It doesn't mean it has to be yours. But this is really interesting because it feels like Pisces, I've been saying this for a while, but it does feel like you're coming out of a period of time where you were sort of spending more time by yourself. You may have been having some deep revelations or like having some like almost like spiritual upgrades or finding some clarity, some enlightenment that you didn't have before. I do feel like you're coming out of this phase, or that you have already come out of this phase, but it's kind of saying to me like, don't forget this connection that you built, that you fostered, or even not even just don't forget it, but stay open to it, stay focused on it as you navigate this new space. Okay. Whew, Pisces. All right, you have this energy with the moon of pull, and I have really been picking up on a magnetic attraction. And you know, when we are in this kind of energy where we have really spent some time with ourselves, getting to know ourselves, you know, really bridging that gap with the divine or with our higher self, you know, focusing really strongly on our intuition and being really true to ourselves. I literally just saw this thing this morning where, it was talking about confidence and how we do confidence all wrong. How we think that like confidence is just projecting this air that we're not nervous. When the real confidence comes from really having the courage of our convictions and being true to who we are in all situations, not playing small, not people pleasing, not doing those kinds of things, but in really just being true to ourselves and listening to our intuition in our body. Our gut really is very informative and can tell us like, this person is not for me, this situation is not for me, this job is not for me. Like how we react to certain things in our environment really is one of the most powerful tools we have of kind of navigating. And when you have the courage to really do that, whether it's popular or unpopular, whether it leaves you alone for a period of time, or you know makes you feel invalidated, or it's almost impossible to feel invalidated when you're truly in that mode, though, because even if the world rejects you, you know that they're rejecting you sometimes because they can't handle their own reflection. When you're super true to yourself, then the reflection that other people see in themselves is oftentimes the ways in which they aren't doing that, the ways in which they're falling short. And instead of leaning into it and saying, wow, thank you for being such a profound mirror for me, now I know what I can work on or how I can improve this, people become threatened, jealous, envious, all those kind of lower vibrational energies, and do kind of seek to tear you down. So the thing is that doesn't mean we shouldn't, stay true to ourselves, just so people don't try to tear us down. That's their problem, not ours. They can try, but if you're truly in that energy, nothing can tear you down, because your priority and what you know is true is the validation that you receive from inside. And it will be validated by the source. You will feel so much better. You'll have those human moments where it stings, where you're like, man, that sucks. Like, I hate that I keep running into that problem, or I hate that this keeps happening, or people keep disappointing me, or situations keep disappointing me. But you'll be able to tuck yourself in it to bed at night and sleep like a baby, because you're not replaying the events, trying to process it, trying to think of what you should have said, what you could have said. When something puts that alarm in your gut, you walk away when you're true to yourself. You don't try to explain yourself. You don't try to, please the mass. You don't try to do any of those things. You just say, oh, okay, I can accept that. And you walk away. This isn't for me. Okay, I walk away. Um, do we want things to be for us? Do we want to have fun? Do we want to be connected? Do we want to be included? A lot of times, yeah. But at what cost? Nothing is worth your peace, right? So it feels like you've spent some time really learning that, understanding that, and now it's like you're coming out of that energy with like this opportunity to really stay that pillar of consciousness, or really stay true to yourself in that way, and really listen to your intuition. I do feel there's this energy with this forgive, right? Forgiveness is such a tricky energy. I really try to avoid talking about it, even though it's so important. But I think it is such a personal journey. And I think, no one can tell you, you should forgive, or should forgive like this, or you should forgive for this reason. It's like, you got to be true to yourself. And every religion that I have studied in any way talks about forgiveness. It is something that is a critical aspect, I feel like, of this human experience that we have. People are going to hurt us, they are going to betray us, they are going to they just are. It is going to happen. And especially betrayal, those things are sometimes the hardest to forgive, because when you're really giving of yourself, your whole self, to someone, and they betray you, it really rocks something deep inside us, and that can be a very hard thing to forgive. The only way that I have like been able to really traverse this space successfully on my own is just knowing that it really is a reflection of the other person, and my behavior is a reflection of me, and that I want to be a forgiving person. I want to be able to stay open to life and to love no matter what. I don't want to give anyone the power to take that away from me. And so that helps me on my path. Just that, it is an empowering position to be able to forgive. And when I think about it, if I hurt someone else, I don't ever intentionally hurt anyone. I have never, I don't ever. I cannot remember a time that I have ever intentionally just set out to hurt someone. And so if I have hurt someone, I would appreciate, I would be so grateful for their forgiveness towards me. And so I operate on this place of, I would like to be forgiven, so I forgive. Just as I did not ever intend to hurt someone, but I'm sure I'm the villain in someone's story. I would like to be forgiven, and so I forgive. And really, forgiveness is something that we do for ourselves. I mean, honestly, once you cross that bridge and you go through it, I think, you do feel lighter, you do feel more flow in your life. And you can recognize the blockage that forgiveness becomes. So it does get easier, but I just always want to be able to stay open to life. And so that's what really motivates me. You have this fifth dimension and this signs. A lot of times, guys, I like keep being called toward this, to read you this. It's from the Rising Woman Instagram account. I saw this the other day. It came up in a private reading, and now it's coming up here. I'm gonna read this to you, but you can find it on the Rising Woman Instagram account, okay? It says, grief and love are inseparable, yet we live in a world that teaches us to fear grief. And in doing so, we learn to fear love. But grief is simply love with nowhere to go. Feeling it means you've lived bravely, you've loved, and you are fully awake to the wild, tender experience of being human. I have just sat with that and sat with that and sat with that for 2 days. And every time it really hits me very deeply. So anyway, I just thought I'd offer that to you, here and now for whatever reason. But there is this energy here with the fifth dimension and with signs. And, sometimes when people can't, in their humanness, their ego, that lower vibrational part of themselves won't allow them to say, I'm sorry, won't allow them to come forward and be accountable for their behavior and their actions. And we have to sort of create, give ourselves the apology that we're never going to receive from them. We can't keep, trying to get something from them. Forcing things it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit you, it doesn't benefit them. So there's this energy of, though sometimes our higher selves can sort of meet on a higher plane and work it out, or come to some explanation. And that's, if you believe in that kind of thing. But I do think that that's true. And we can seek, peace with another person in the fifth dimension or in another realm. There are meditations and different things like that can help you do that. I'm sure you could probably find them on YouTube. But it almost feels as though I'm getting like that recycling triangle with the arrows that like go up and then come down and go around like this. And I've gotten this visual of that so many times lately. Anyway, and it always means something kind of different. And this is like telling me that, this coming to a place of peace in your own heart opens you up to like sort of repairing something in another dimension. And then there's like these physical, tangible signs that sort of let you know that this cycle has closed, that It is okay. It is at peace. It is all is fine. All is well. It's no need to continue to worry or need to process or to carry the burden or anything. It's like been lifted. And that when we free ourselves from any kind of blockage, it opens us up to make new choices. It opens us up to, start a different cycle or move into a different path. And for some of you, this can be where for some of you, you have sort of worked it out with a past person. And now it's like you're able to put that behind you and move on to a new person. For others of you, it may mean actually that a past person will come back. And that you're going to have a choice between a past person and a new person. This card is it is like literally telling me, Pisces, you have all the answers that you need. You have developed them in this last stage you've been in. But I do feel that people are magnetically drawn to you, especially if you're relating to this kind of like healing process energy, because your aura reflects that. Your vitality, just the energy that you're putting out into the world, people are very sensitive to that. We're all energetic beings, no matter what we believe, we are all energetic beings. And so we feel that vibration, we feel that energy. And we're very attracted to people who are at peace with themselves. We're very attracted to people who are, confident. Not in the sense of I'm not nervous, but in the sense of I am true to myself. I am my own pillar of consciousness. So let's see. I do keep feeling you're going to have a choice in love, or like I keep feeling this energy. Like if I open these doors, I feel like there's two knights on the other side. So we'll see what's happening. I keep looking up because I can't get the chat open on my laptop. I don't know why. And I read the comments, and thank you, Mari. Yeah, Mari. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, guys. It does really affect, and I don't know how it is with the lives, but it does affect how many people see the video. Okay. So guys, there's this energy here with bitterness and mistakes and shallow. And, this feels like something that's like where you've been. It's something that it's like we only scratched the surface, or how do I want to say it? Because it's not exactly that way, right? There's an energy of it could have been so much more, or it had so much potential, or had it been a different time, or had you been ready for me when you met me, or had you or I or both of us had the ascensions we've had since we met each other, before we met each other, what could have happened. And, I do feel like there is this energy of having made mistakes. And I actually feel it on both sides. I actually feel it like, even if, well, I think I told this story, but there's a story that, where this little boy was born with, I think he was born with HIV. And this was years and years and years ago. And so because he had been born with this, life-ending illness, everyone went out of their way to really take care of him. and they did everything for him. So he never had to do anything for himself, and he never had to grow or evolve or, you know, stretch himself, because everyone would say, oh, just forgive him, or just move on, or just, you know, he's gonna die, he's got AIDS, you know. And so this man ended up living, you know, and got treatment and everything, but he never really developed as a human, because everyone was always doing everything for them. And this is just giving me this energy of like, sometimes we unintentionally, or with a lot of goodwill or a lot of well-meaning, you know, sort of compensate for other people, or um, you know, overgive, or, you know, are overly accommodating. And that really screws both sides of the coin. And there's not one person that actually benefits. It may look like the person who's on the receiving side of it is just gaining, getting. But that person is stunted, because they don't have to stretch themselves. They don't have to learn. They don't have to evolve. They don't have to grow. They don't have to become. They don't have to understand anyone else's perspective. They don't have to, you know, put the work and the effort in to find out what they're capable of. And so it's actually not kind on either side, right? And so, you know, I do feel this energy with the mistakes of a little bit like both people sort of realizing that's where I went wrong, you know, or, you know, I kept letting that person off the hook, or I kept, you know, letting this person back into my life, even though they showed that they couldn't really appreciate me, or they couldn't really rise to meet the occasion, or whatever. But those mistakes are illuminating. Those mistakes are opportunities for us to grow. Because we can say to ourselves, well, why did I do that? What was the purpose behind it? Why did I think that that's what I deserved in this relationship? Or why did I think that that was acceptable or okay, or something that I should be spending my time and energy doing? You know what I mean? And then we can grow, we can learn. But if we don't grow and learn, we become bitter. And that's what I'm saying about this forgiveness energy, is that, like, I don't ever want to be bitter. I use this example all the time with the Queen of Swords, right? Where she's been through the whole sword cycle. She has suffered. She's been deceived. She's been backstabbed. She's, you know, she has been through it. She has suffered mightily. And you have a choice with all those things that happen. Do I let this, you know, close me off and say, I'm not going to give anybody another chance. I'm not going to open up to the world. I'm just going to close down and protect myself with this sword. Or do you say, okay, I'm going to become more discerning. I will learn the lesson of that experience. I will let it, you know, inform me and help me to make better decisions as I move forward. And I will know that I have the power of the sword. I understand the sword. I know how to use the sword. And if I need to, I'm brave enough to cut something off, which goes back to that confidence energy, because that's what confident people do. That's what people who are their own pillars of consciousness, they recognize when something isn't good for them and they just chop it off. You know, they're like, nope. So I do feel that there is a really big soulmate connection coming in here. And I think that it is coming in potentially as a result of a past experience, or I don't want to say as a result of it, but it's like someone has learned the lesson and they're ready for a new cycle. How do we get a new cycle? We start making different decisions. And when we're making big decisions like this, where we're showing we're guided by, you know, our own internal validation and, you know, this understanding that we have to be true to ourselves in this world, then we get people that represent that and that vibrate that way and that are capable of reflecting that back to us. And I feel this energy of actual, real, true intimacy, and with this light in the background, it's a happiness, but it's like something that comes when we clear away the shadow, you know, something that comes when there's nothing blocking it, because we have forgiven, we have moved on from the past experience. When we have also done that, though, we do open energetically a little bit to, if our past person has kind of risen you know, or has sort of improved, if they've been on a similar track to us and they have been, you know, doing the work and elevating and trying to learn from the experience of this past connection, they could be showing up too. And this can be more than one person showing up. I keep getting that. And you do have that choices card here. Um, this is something that I feel like at one time felt out of reach or felt like I may never find this. Um, when we continuously have an experience over and over again because we're caught in a karmic cycle, a lot of times we start to think that that's all there is. And it takes more and more bravery each time we go around the cycle to make a different choice. To say, no, I believe there is still something different. I'm going to make a different choice. And it is a level of dishonesty with ourselves when we think that what we have already experienced is all there is. It is a misalignment with our true potential. And so it feels as though it's like we're figuring that out. We're letting that go. We're releasing the things that are not in alignment with this super strong pillar of consciousness that I feel like came out of a hard fought victory with you. It's all leading to a tremendous amount of happiness. I feel like butterflies in my stomach. I feel like, you know, just that, like, my phone went off. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's them. You know, it feels very youthful. I guess that's how I'll say it. This energy. All right, so let's dive into the tarot and see what we got here, guys. Oh my gosh, from the woods in Sweden. Oh, hello from bright, sunny Florida. Oh my goodness. I actually was like out in my Jeep earlier because it's a beautiful day here and I just had to go out and be out in the fresh air and the trees and the flowers and the camellias and the azaleas of it all. But gosh, I love the woods and I love the quietness of snow and just, oh my goodness. What a beautiful world and how lucky we are to be here and living in it. You know, gosh, I hope we never forget that or lose touch of that. So wow, yeah, you got the Six of Swords with the Four of Pentacles with the Hangman here on the bottom of the deck. This is a very like you with you energy, and this energy of the Four of Pentacles is giving me a very strong, like determined energy of like, I'm gonna hold on to myself. I'm not going to let someone take from me something that I'm not willing to give, that I'm not willing to part with. And that may be, you know, my desire to have love in my life, my desire to be open to all of life and to what life has to offer and the lessons, all the lessons that life has to teach me. It's kind of like I refuse to give my power away to someone who didn't know how to treat me correctly or, you know, couldn't maybe reciprocate or wasn't ready or whatever. It's like, yeah, but it is my choice if I relinquish, you know, my autonomy over this with myself. And so there's this real energy of holding on to these parts of ourselves and not letting someone else's bad deeds or an experience even that really I feel like was meant to teach us something, kind of steal something from us that we're not willing to give up. We can't control other people's behavior. You know, as a kid that grew up in an environment that took a lot from me, I honestly, I think that I did go through a phase where I was just pissed and bitter because I had no say in it. I had no choice in it. And, you know, this is just giving me like, they can't actually take that from you. They may be able to temporarily kind of make you question yourself or make you kind of steal your light or cause you to sort of fragment as a soul. But you always have the power to return to it and put it all back together again. You do. I've done it, so I can tell you, at least my experience is that you can. You just have to be like that super determined energy, and you have to keep looking for the answer that works for you until you find it. With the Six of Swords, this energy is like coming to a place of peace and acceptance with everything that has been, not letting it kind of steal your balance, not letting it, disrupt your ship. A ship can only sink when it takes on water. And so if we don't allow it to take on water, if we don't let other people's yuck and the world's yuck and all of it come into our ship, it can't sink us. It can only sink us if we allow it to, if we give it that kind of power. So with the Hangman here on the bottom of the deck, I mean, this is Piscean energy. And this really feels like this energy of coming into that pillar of consciousness and really having that aha moment about self-validation and about, it really does not matter what the world thinks of you. It does not matter what anyone thinks about you. It only matters what you think of you. And when you can sit with that, and when you can sit with the truth of that, and you enjoy yourself and your own company, and you can find shelter in there where you are comfortable and at peace, that is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. I think it is one of the greatest accomplishments of life. I think it's far more important than the money you have in your bank account. That's just me, but this Hangman sees, it feels like I've been able to get enough distance and separate myself enough to understand that the place of that in my life, and get the perspective on it and come to a place of peace with it, and not let it rob me of anything I'm not willing to give to it, or that I'm not willing to give up. I truly feel that there is a huge soulmate coming in here that is a reflection of this. And oh my gosh, what beautiful energy. Oh, King of Cups. Wow. Ace of Wands clarifying that Four of Pentacles, and the Hangman clarifying that Six of Swords. So the Hangman coming out twice. That's always very prophetic when I'm doing a reading for Pisces and you're getting really strong Piscean energy in the cards. It is about you. And there's something coming into your life that is a reflection of what you have achieved, you with you. And it's like Spirit really wants you to know, hey, you did this, you brought this, you magnetized this to you. You were the one that, pulled yourself out of this energy of confusion, of hurt, of suffering. You're the one that made the powerful choices that led you to this place where you're now seeing things very clearly, and you're seeing them from a different perspective. And that perspective is allowing you to really open up to love and to life. And it is bringing in an opportunity that you really, 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 really want. With, I believe, someone who is, wow, yes, oh my gosh, Pisces, look at this. This is someone who is emotionally able to process on their own. This is a very healthy, solid, stable person that can reflect back to you your own true, unconditionally loving nature. This person too has learned many lessons, many spiritual lessons. This person too has come to a place of peace with their past. With these sixes, the Six of Swords coming out twice, once for you and once for them. This is a mirrored energy, but it's also an energy that is in a deep amount of harmony and unity. It's saying, we're both coming together from a place where we are at peace with our past. We're not haunted by our past. We're not limited or incapacitated by a past experience. We've healed. We're hopeful and optimistic about the future, and this is wish fulfillment. For some of you, it can be a past person, but look at that. I mean, look. I mean, even... yeah, this is someone that recognizes your worth and your value. This is pretty awesome. And it's happening because you first did it you with you. You first were able to find this spot within yourself. Guys, this live is fun. I'm like, I can kind of read it. I'll have to figure out how to get it on my laptop so that I can actually really read it. But I feel so open to your energy here with us being live. It's fun. Okay. Wow. So you have the Seven of Cups, Judgment, and the King of Pentacles now. And again, the Seven of Cups represents this energy of choices. So for some of you, these are two separate kings, and these are two separate kings that you may be able to choose between. For others of you, this can be an energy of... well, I'm getting a few things. I'm getting, for one thing, with the Seven of Cups, this may be someone where you were like, why can't I just find someone who's solid and stable and emotionally responsible for themselves, that can handle having feelings for another person and not flipping out about it. With the Seven of Cups, it can be an energy of like fantasy, where it's like you almost created this, you manifested this in a way through visualization or through like, it's almost like I get from her expression just feeling really let down by what you were coming across and the capacity of the people that you were meeting. Like it was like you were meeting people and you were knowing that like, wow, this person just isn't capable of meeting me where I am. And I get that like, thank you, next kind of energy. And so it's almost like I dreamed this person into being, or when I was focused on what I was really looking for in a person or what I really wanted in a person, and then it's like finding them. With the Judgment here, this can be a past person coming back around. I'm going to clarify it. I don't think that for everyone. In fact, I think that for less than half, I think that that's more of a minority type energy than a majority type energy. But it can be, even in little ways, freeing ourselves from a past experience, right? Like coming to that place of peace. For some of you, maybe you have met your past person on the 5D and you have set each other free. You have forgiven yourself. You have let each other go. Or whatever, for others of you, maybe you have made peace to the place where this person actually feels really prompted in the material world to come forward, that like, well, maybe Pisces would be receptive if I stepped up. So let's just go ahead and clarify this energy. But this is somebody that is very solid and very stable and very ready to commit. They're not somebody who's coming in and then is going to say to you, I just don't know what I want. I just don't know what I'm ready for. That kind of energy. For some of you, it's someone that you had a really difficult ending with. Man, there is a major cycle closing out here for you guys. You're getting 2 tens here. The 10 of Pentacles clarifying this 7 of Cups energy. Again, I'm getting this like, I fantasized it into being. It's like, and it even feels like maybe at one time I believed all it was a fantasy. Like that was all it could ever be. Like, cause I just, in the physical world, was not meeting anyone that was even capable of showing up in that way. A King of Pentacles is absolutely capable of showing up in that way. And then you have the Judgment clarified by the 10 of Swords. And this is like, you know, it's very much, you know, we had a really difficult ending. We may have said some things that were really harsh or harmful. We may have really even tried to hurt each other, or we may have even tried to make it work so much, and it hurt us time and time and time and time again. And now we're finally able to close that cycle and to let it go. And for some of you, you're just rising above this experience. For others of you, it is this person potentially coming back around for a reunion. But you have justice here. This is all of this energy is soul contract energy. It's also energy that it's like the balance is being restored in general. So, like, if you are someone who has given a lot of love to a lot of people who just weren't able to accept it, or couldn't step up to the plate, or couldn't reciprocate, or weren't ready, or didn't know what they wanted, and you know, it left you feeling super drained and super just like, man, I just invested and invested and invested, and I got nothing back on my investment. Justice is here to say that this new thing that's coming in is the rebalancing of that scale, is the thing that is making it right. The universe is a balanced place. And so oftentimes when we see justice, it denotes that there has already been some kind of injustice. I am getting strong soul contract energy from this justice card. Wow. Wow, this is something coming towards you fast, Pisces. This could be in the form of communication. It could be someone from your past reaching out to communicate with you or to try to set things right. It can also be an energy, I don't know if you can see that, but it's justice. Underneath that is the Eight of Wands and then the Queen of Cups. It can also be some kind of opportunity or some kind of soulmate just coming in really, really quickly. Some kind of opportunity to really move toward what it is you really want without any kind of obstacle or blockage. Wow, yeah, there's the Hermit. You've got the Three of Cups. And here's the Ace of Wands. This did come out in pretty much in reverse, but that's okay. This Hermit energy being on the bottom of the deck, it's saying, you know, sometimes we have to come to a place internally with ourselves before we're ready for what we're asking for or what we really want. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes we have to get to a place where we're ready to handle what it is that we're asking for. You know, sometimes we think it's like, oh man, just send me a soulmate. But like, if you're not ready for it and the soulmate comes in, it's going to send you into another cycle that's going to push you back. It's not going to move you forward. You know, and so there is this energy of trusting the universe and the divine timing of the universe. And with this particular Ace of Wands, you can see it's like the seeds of the dandelion. You know, we used to blow on them and send off wishes. I think everyone does that. And so it's kind of like, I've been wishing and wishing and wishing for this, and then it's not showing up, it's not showing up, it's not showing up. Why isn't it showing up? A lot of times it's like, because we're not ready for it to show up. If it showed up now, we would mess it up. Like we would, like it would end up being another lesson instead of, you know, something else. So, and then you have the Three of Cups here, which is talking about celebration, and it's talking about, for me right here, it's actually also potentially talking to me about seeing ourselves in relation to relationships in a different way. Opening up to this idea that they can be happy, that they can be celebratory, that they don't have to be hard, and they don't have to be hard work, and they don't have to be hurtful, and they don't have to be suffering. That when we are our authentic self and we are true to ourselves, the people that we attract and the experiences that we attract and the whatever, it's in alignment with us. It is all a celebration and a song of where we are and who we are as people. And there's almost, even with the Hermit and the Three of Cups energy, there's a vibration of you're better off alone. I literally just saw this the other day. It was like a pair, two pears. You know how pears have like a stem and then they're on a branch? Well, they were together like that. And this one was rotting and the rot was spreading into the other pear. And it was saying that this visual shows you why sometimes it's better to be alone than with another. And this, the Three of Cups and the Hermit, you know, the Three of Cups can also mean like overindulging, drinking, having a drinking problem, you know, stuff like that. So if we are in a mode where we are using other people as an escape, which is a pretty common human thing to do, and let's say our friendship is really based on going out on Friday night and going out on Saturday night and recovering on Sunday, you know what I mean? Then is that friendship really helping us, or is it actually sort of spreading this rot into our lives where we're just indulging in all of this kind of behavior that is enabling us to not feel other things? I mean, I'm not saying, I like to go out with my girlfriends, like, and I like to go out with my husband. So I'm not, there's like no judgment in this, but like, if this is a habitual thing and this is the basis of the friendship and there isn't anything else, then is that really serving your purpose? Is that friendship really in your highest and best? And what are you really getting out of it? And how is it fitting into your life, and how is it fitting into like your dreams and what you're asking for and where you're going? And so sometimes there's this energy of sometimes we just do need to be by ourselves, and we need to be really focused on the energy of what it is we want, where we're headed, where we're going, rather than to be distracted or to live a really exciting life, or to really, you know, be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. We're not going to go from a place of like, I was in this relationship because I really didn't want to be by myself. And, you know, we did have fun, but there really wasn't a whole lot more to it. You're not going to go from that directly into like a deep soul relationship. Not usually. I mean, it's not to say that it's never happened or that it can't happen, absolutely, but it's unlikely, right? Because when you're in that mode and you're in that energy, you're not in the energy of raising your vibration and focusing on what it is you really, really want and calling that in and becoming magnetic to it and attracting it, you know? You're just sort of good with status quo. Wow. With the Three of Cups and the Nine of Wands, sometimes it's hard to let go. Sometimes it is hard to release something that is serving a purpose, or is preventing us from feeling lonely, or is sort of making us forget about all of the things that we were involved in that didn't go right. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's fun, it's easy, it's this, it's that, you know, I don't really want to let it go because it has these things. But it's kind of like everything in moderation, I guess. And then you have that Ace of Wands in reverse with the King of Pentacles upright. And this energy is like, kind of in order to have what you want, you have to be what you want. So are the choices that you're making, is the way that you're living, you know, when you commit to yourself and you keep the promises that you make to yourself, when you say, I'm never going to play small again, when you say, I'm not going to try to people please other people, I don't need that type of validation. When you look at all those things, I mean, this is stuff that all human beings pretty much do or have done at one point in their life, right? When you look at all those things and you make a promise to yourself, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, and you put the work in to not doing that, guess what happens? This is exactly what happens to your energy. You commit to yourself to such a degree that you're not going to slip back into that. You're not going to do it once just because, well, it didn't really matter. No, you're like, absolutely not. I'm not compromising on this. I know what I'm worth. I know what I deserve, and all of my actions represent that. And I'm completely committed to myself, my own stability, my own well-being, and my own abundance. And every time I make a choice that's not in alignment with that, then I'm not in alignment with that energy. But when all of your choices are reflecting this, and when you're saying, no, I'm going to stay true to myself, I'm doing this thing, guess what? That's exactly what you call in. You call in that energy of what you have always wanted and what you have always been looking for. And here you have that Four of Wands energy, which is where what we have been manifesting, what we have been visualizing comes down from the ethers into reality. It actually shows up in our life, and it shows up in a significant way that's ready to really commit and be there and share this space with us and walk the walk with us. And it is really super duper committed and ready for a lifetime, not just a 5-minute soiree. I don't know where that came from. I love how spiritual you guys are. You're so open to messages, and you have already thought about these things a lot. I can always tell that a lot of times the things that I say are things that you already know and that you've already thought about and that you've already like experienced and gone through, and that and I actually learn a lot from your comments and from even your own observations in your own life about how the readings relate to you. I'm always making connections like that, and I really appreciate it. And I feel so blessed for the people that watch this channel and really do comment and are really a part of it and are energetically exchanging with me, because it only makes the energy stronger of the channel and of the readings. So anyway, I'm seeing your comments, and I don't know, I'm so grateful that you guys are who you are, you know. The Nine of Wands is coming out again here, you know, and the Fool card is over here, and then you have Temperance here. It's interesting, right? Because all the energies in the tarot deck they represent a duality. They represent a spectrum of energy, right? And while the Nine of Wands can have kind of a negative effect, right? It can be where we're so guarded because we have been hurt so much that we put this big guard up, and that's blocking our flow, and it's blocking not just us from being hurt, but it's also blocking the abundance that wants to come into our life. But at the same time, the Nine of Wands can be such a beautiful, light-filled energy of, even though I have been hurt time and time again, I persevered. I did not let it deter me. I did not let it stop me from what I desire and believing that I could have it and that it could be mine. With this Nine of Wands energy, it's like, I'm never going to give up. I might be in the rain right now, but I know that rain is going to lead to some really beautiful flowers. And I'm not afraid of the rain, and I'm not afraid to go through the rain, because I have survived the rain how many times now? At least 9, right? I always pull through. I always learn something valuable. I always find the gift in the experience, and I always persevere, and I always stop. So I'm not going to let some bad past experience or something that caused suffering or sort of shook me up or caused it to rain, right, to stop me from wanting this or believing that it's mine or that I can have it or that I deserve it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to let it happen to me. With the Fool card energy, this is so beautiful, because this is being free from our past, being free from the things that could potentially, right, prevent us from being able to take a complete leap of faith. You know, it's kind of that energy of hedging your bets, of being like, well, it could be good, but you could also hurt me. So I'm just going to kind of walk on this razor edge. And, you know, maybe I'll sort of fall one way or another. No, the Fool says, I'm at a place of peace and acceptance with everything that's happened. I'm good. I am solid, I'm stable. I have proved to myself time and time again my own strength, my own capacity, my own ability to be resilient. I'm not just taking a leap of faith for anything, right? I come together with other healthy energies that in a balanced way where it's like, yeah, I'm willing to go all in and I'm not going to be held back and I'm not going to be, like an example would be accusing my new person or needing constant validation from my new person because my past person cheated on me. I'm not going to do that. I'm free and clear of all those energies. I'm at peace with all those energies. I don't need someone to make up the difference from my past because I've gotten a new perspective on it and I'm seeing very clearly now. And I know that bringing that energy in any way, shape, or form into my new situation is only going to poison it. And so with the Temperance card, it's saying it takes as long as it takes and it's okay, as long as it's balanced, as long as it's healthy, and as long as I'm able to maintain my own personal center and both people are paying into the balance and harmony of the connection equally, then there's no problem. We're moving forward in a positive way. It's leading to something healthy and good. All right. Look at this. I mean, seriously, guys. You've got the Nine of Wands with Judgment. And this is, it's not how many times you fall. It's how many times you get right back up. It's, how many times have we thought, man, this is it. This is the end. This is the most embarrassing moment. This is so humiliating. I feel so ashamed. I feel so guilty. I feel so this. And in that moment, it's all we can see and it's all we can feel. And we think we're not going to get out of this. Or the betrayal was so deep, or the deception was so deep, or the hurt, the heartbreak was so deep. We thought, man, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But guess what? We rose. We rose up every time we thought we couldn't. And in rising, we discovered our own strength. And we discovered that unless we let it, nothing can get us down forever. Nothing can get us down permanently. We're just going to keep learning from it and keep rising from it. And every time we rise a little bit higher and a little bit higher. Then we have this Fool card with the Two of Cups. I'm telling you guys, somebody's coming into your life. It's a soulmate. If they're coming in divine timing with the seven, look at that. The Seven of Pentacles with the Lovers underneath it. They're coming, in divine timing. It has to do with healing from suffering, releasing all the blockages that exist, and then bam, there it is, divine timing again, the Wheel of Fortune. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. There's a soulmate relationship that's coming in, and it's something that when it appears in your life, you will be ready to take that full-on leap of faith, and so will they. And with the Caduceus there, it's saying this is a healthy, harmonious relationship. With Temperance, the Two of Cups, and Judgment, this is a very spiritual connection that is very balanced and very positive for both people, very healthy for both people. And it is this, I'm sorry, I literally just got so strongly, people say you fall in love, but you don't, you rise in love. I don't know what that's from or where that came from or anything about that, but that is literally what just came to my head. And now I almost cannot remember where I was or what I was saying or anything. It was so clear. It was so strong. But it's this energy where it's good for both of you. It isn't suffering. It isn't struggling. It isn't hard. I mean, not to say that it doesn't have its hard moments, and not to say that you're not going to get frustrated or it's not going to challenge you, because relationships are meant to challenge us. They are challenging. I mean, we're very complex, spiritual beings having human experiences, trying to come together in the most intimate way with another complex spiritual being having a human experience. There's no way that that's just going to come together like a zipper and just zip up. easily, you know, it doesn't, you know, I mean, you know, I talk about my marriage, but definitely there were hard days, or there were days where we really had to sit next to each other and communicate with each other when that was the last thing that we really wanted to do. You know what I mean? And we still get a little frustrated every once in a while, but it's a very great once in a while. Because we just, you know, you eventually know that this person is like, they do love you, and they're trying their best, and you don't get mad about things because you know that, because you've just been together so long. But that's what I see here, you know. It is the seed that has the potential to come into fruition, into abundance. This is what you're attracting to you as you go through this healing process, as you move out of that healing process, as you step back out into the world in this kind of like really magnetic energy of being your own pillar of consciousness. It's like, it's coming, Pisces, like really and truly. This morning, the first thing I saw on, I don't know, I think it might have been YouTube. I might have opened it. And it was like, a Pisces, February and March are your months. Nothing but good luck and love coming in. And I was like, heck yeah. So guys, I mean, I don't know, but that's what I see in the cards. I mean, you can see your cards. You're not having tower moments. You don't have like bad, hard energies. These are all really beautiful, uplifting energies. I'm going to get you some messages. I feel blessed that your path crossed mine too. If you're dealing with a water sign, you're getting rejection. This rejection is actually divine protection and warning. Just don't dismiss the red flags here. This can be symbolic of that past relationship. Some people may still be moving through that, or may still be experiencing that in a hard and heavy way. The thing is, sometimes when we are wanting so much to be in a relationship, we will dismiss red flags, and then that person will end up breaking our heart. And in the end, you know, we will even realize, wow, if I would have listened to those red flags, if I would have paid attention to what my intuition was telling me instead of not. And when we're talking about the greater lesson, or the way we're elevating out of past cycles and into new cycles, is by choosing ourselves and by listening to our gut instinct and our intuition. You can see how that relates. That sometimes we have to go through that experience. Because when we experience something, we learn that. We learn that a lot stronger than if somebody just tells us, hey, you know what, don't dismiss the red flags. You know what I mean? It's like, if you experience dismissing red flags and then someone breaking your heart, that rejection, that tower moment, is actually like the universe sparing you from a continuation of something that's just not meant for you. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you have the twin flame. It says this is a divine counterpart connection, and you have regret. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. Guys, there's a lot of past energy here. Some of you may be like freeing yourself completely, like karmically or something, from a past experience or a past person. Just even in the 5D, if you're not talking to them, if you're not, you know, actively doing something about it. And they may be feeling that. I feel a lot of past energy. I just don't think that everyone's past person is coming back around. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you're getting leap of faith. It's safe to make the move you're considering, and wait, the timing is not quite right. So there's an issue of timing there. That could be a past situation where the time wasn't right, or someone wasn't ready for something at the time. If you're dealing with an air sign, you're getting release. Radical acceptance and surrender can help you let go. We've talked a lot about that. And you're getting integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? Man, guys, this is what I have for you today. What fun. I'm so excited that we did this live on YouTube. I couldn't remember where I was for a second. But gosh, I guess that's what I have for you today. I hate to turn it off, but I think that's probably what's best. I don't want to cloud any messages. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to go back and look at this live chat and read everything that I missed. Thank you guys so much for your likes and for your company on this journey. I really appreciate you. To those of you who are going to watch this video after it's been recorded, thanks for joining me. If it resonated, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I deeply appreciate it. As always, you all, I send you off with all my very, very best. Always, always, always. Lots of love. Bye-bye, guys.